baby, when a baby first born, our children, first and foremost, they come out, you'll see green patches over their body. And then as they get more and more adjusted to the light, then you'll start to see the patches fade away. But the reason why if you search up foods that has iron in it, one of the things they're going to show you is meat. Kale, I mean, not kale, spinach. Spinach is a hybrid, but they're going to show you meat. They're going to show you all the things that are now on the get the fuck off this planet list. All the things that's on the get the hell off this planet list are what has iron in it, and that we have been putting inside of our bodies.
Right. I see a good question here. Will we go back to magnesium people with the sun and frequency change? Good question.
Yep. Yeah. You hold on. Let me just say this to you.
Yeah.
I want all my brothers and sisters to understand something. People, the one thing that the universe frowns upon is laziness. Mm-hmm. The universe frowns upon that shit. Ignorance and laziness. So if you think you're just going to sit back and I'm not going to put in no work, mind you, some kind of work, whether it's gardening, whether it's you when you out in the community, you just say, hey, listen, this is what's going on, this was going on in your time of passing, because that energy is permeating throughout the universe and everyone is being watched. Don't do it out of fear, do it out of righteousness. Mm-hmm. Don't do it out of fear, do it out of righteousness, because then you're going to be watched even more. I done showed you plenty of videos of spaceships just showing up right around the sun when I'm recording the sun. I don't call on them, I don't worship them, but they understand righteousness because they look at the color, not the skin. Mm. It's a color that permeates off of your body when your heart chakra is in tune.
So they look at the color, not the skin. That was deep.
They look at the color, just like animals in nature. That's why you see some people, bees come around and they great sting, and they like, ah! And then some people, bees will come around, they just look at you and then they'll fly off, just like dragonflies. Yeah. Look at you and then fly off. They're amazed. They looking at you like, damn. And then they fly.
Wow. Damn. Oh man, family. I know y'all enjoyed this build today. Let's see. Let's get to the next question. Don't give me these long questions, y'all. Just give me a question. Y'all be writing paragraphs. Just give me a question. All right. What's the interaction going to be like when our cosmic family shows to planet Earth?
Oh, it's going to be, y'all going to think we killers. Y'all going to think they fucking killers, man. I swear, you going to think we killers, bro.
Wow.
You going to think we, I'm going to tell you why. Now, let me just say this to you. Can anyone disagree with me that children are being abused on this planet and children are being abducted, using as sex traffic, organ harvest? Can anybody disagree with me? Because they even show the statistics that 8 million children go missing damn near a year. So no one can disagree with me with that, right? So now listen, we don't see that on a day-to-day basis. You know why we don't see that? Because we're in our natural communities in our neighborhood dealing with the things going on, so forth and so on. Imagine what they are seeing. Imagine what they are seeing.
The bird's eye view. The bird's eye view. Yeah.
the raping in the alleys, the raping in the villages. Just imagine what they're seeing. The unnecessary shootings and killings for no fucking reason. What do you think they gonna see it? You know how much you think you have to meditate and do shadow work? What the fuck you think they doing looking down here at this bullshit? How much shadow work you think they doing? This is why this was not an enslavement. This was an embarrassment and a test for the golden race. The embarrassment is that your brothers and sisters are looking down here now, just like right now. They hyped up. You know what? I don't now knock anyone for this. Transgender. You see how much they are pushing this to our children and our people? Why they're doing that? Tyler Perry got his Hollywood studio over in Atlanta. Now Atlanta look like the West Coast. Come on, man. Y'all don't see this? This is a setup to keep the embarrassment going, to make your brothers and sisters look down here and say, you know what? Not near one of them is worth saving. Clean this shit up. Simple as that. But that's not going to be the case. That's not going to be the case. So I want to tell some of us going to look at this and they're going to be like, yo, this pure, you're going to think our brothers and sisters pure killers. Pure killers.
let's get to one more question before we get out of here, family. All right, let's get to this question. What other physical changes can those who are doing the real inner work expect to see in our avatars, as we continue to push into 5D frequency and beyond?
Besides becoming more self-aware of what's going on and being hungry to learn, and having more compassion in your heart and more loving towards people, you're going to see things like your skin. Like when I go outside in the sun, you see, like, I roll glitter, like I roll my arms in glitter.
Yes.
You can literally see
Facts.
glitter in your skin. Also,
Facts.
my hair. If you go look at my video, you can go look at a part of my hair. At certain points, my hair look red. Your hair is starting to change. You're going to see colors and stuff in your hair. So these are the things that are starting to happen with our race that you can literally observe, and you can check it out on your own, see for yourself. And people that's in the comments that's been outside and sitting under the sun, just turn your arm to the side and just look at your hand and your arm, and then see, you be like, yo, that glitter? You be sitting there thinking that's glitter on your arm. That's not you. You're crystallizing. Your your soul is coming back to the forefront.
Yeah, I swear, I used to tell my girl that years ago, I was a street vendor and I was outside. I'm from Harlem, so she think I'm just being cocky. I'm like, yo, I don't sweat, I sparkle. And I'm like, yo, I swear I don't sweat. And she think I'm just being arrogant, but I'm dead serious. I'm looking at, because I'm sitting there, I'm outside working, and I see this shit on mine. I'm like, yo, I sparkle, I don't even sweat. Yo, so when y'all started saying that during the social media, I'm like, yo, I've been saying this for a while. I just didn't know how to articulate or elaborate on it, but I'm glad that y'all elaborated on it now, because that's some real shit that's going on. Like, we looking like glitter out here, and we like, I'm like this on my skin. I'm like, hold up, you know what I'm saying? This is yo, family. This brother's important when he's studying the sun. There's some real shit going on right now, family. So don't think we not just on here bullshitting. There's some real things going on, family. Real,
yeah, no question. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that y'all gonna know that there is a climate change bill that's trying to be passed. And I want people to look at something and pay attention.
Oh man,
they said slavery started in August in 1600s. I just want my brothers and sisters to pay attention to the month of August all the way up until October, even towards the end of the year. But just pay attention to what's going on around I don't want you to pay attention to you ingested that you are in fear. That's not it. And their world is done. Their world is done. Their job, this is what their job is. Now that their world is done, is try to get you to commit suicide or kill your brother. Because if you do that, what happens is you will not pass into the realm of absolute. Now, there is a difference though. Let's just say, again, they're going to orchestrate some stuff, whereas though that we ain't got no food, power might be out. Let's just say you're defending yourself and it was their life. That's something completely different. But I'm talking about people that are willingly waking up every day that said, I can't wait to go outside and do some shit. You will not go anywhere. You will be right here. You will be right here.
Man, oh man. Ah, Kala, it's been a pleasure doing this interview with you. We at the hour 30 mark. Listen, tell the family, I mean, whatever you got. If you got a website, if you got social media, whatever you got, tell the people. You got the Cash App. Tell the people how can they get in contact with you and get more information from you, my brother.
Oh, no doubt. Let me pull up this real fast so I can share this share this screen. Let me see if I can share this with the screen. I showed people my YouTube channel. Let me show y'all something. Inside of my body that we can pull this out together, though. We can pull this out. We can get through what they're getting ready to throw at us. There is nothing that they can throw at us that we can't handle collectively. Collectively. They done gave us everything during slavery individually. They separated us. They separated us in the stock market. They poisoned our children. They beat you down, woman. They beat the black woman down so bad when she gave birth to her child. She's the only woman that ever assassinated her child because she did not want the child to experience. I am not telling my brothers and sisters this or trying to remind you for you to create anger inside of you to do something violent. I want you to create the passion inside of you to want to learn, And then when you want to learn, then you want to give that information to your brothers and sisters, because this is an important time for every melanated carbonated being. This is a very important time for us. So where do you want to submit yourself, in this world or amongst the stars? Love yourself and value everyone else. And the moment that you see no more value in that individual, value meaning that they're not receptive to what you are given, and they're not reciprocating, then you need to cut them off, man, woman, or child. And this is what the age of Aquarius is going to show us. It's going to show us how to let go and not to hold on to excess baggage. I value you, brother. Thank you.
Talk to them, brother. Thank you so much, my brother Kalai.
You're absolutely right. Her readings are so insane. I have to schedule time with her now. But her classes is what she's really putting this effort into now, these chakra classes. I mean, you go to a website, you go to my website, occultlectures.com, hit her website, which is samedimassage.com, SAMEDIMASSAGE.com, message, samedimessage.com. And yeah, her chakras, her readings, and they speak for themselves. Her classes, she's becoming an entity within her own. And soon, I know we have a schedule of her and myself together to do something with you too, Brother Rich.
Indeed.
In the near future.
I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait.
That's going to be a big deal. And like the only thing holding us back is her schedule is so crazy with so many readings, because once they pile up, she's, it is what it is. So, but yeah, we look forward to that too, coming up and doing our things.
Yeah, I was telling you, Panic, just to start out with, before we get into the name of the show is the Occult Technology of Power.
Okay.
Those who run around this world and act like they control it do so through occult methods.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's, people always talk about Hitler. Hitler was obsessed with the occult.
Yeah.
Obsessed with the occult. The Nazis obsessed with the occult. So we're gonna go into the occult and what it really means tonight. But before I do, like I said, when I started out, when I just got on the stream with you, I want to thank you. Brother Panic contributed a video. We got the 7-day Kundalini meditation happening starting September 11th. And when I tell you this, I want to say this dude, but I want to say this nigga, because there's so much emotion attached to it. This nigga Panic,
I don't even remember that shit.
Bro, he don't even remember it.
I have no clue. Damn.
Bro, that's what you call possessed by the Holy Ghost.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
no.
We was definitely possessed by the whole. This nigga, listen, family, I'm sorry, pardon the language. This nigga went in. So,
really? Damn.
Thank the Holy Ghost for possessing Panic to produce this video. But listen, family, we're gonna have videos from Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, as well as others, along with a 7-day live 11/11 meditation, Kundalini meditation. My blue pill is going down. I just posted the link. Make sure y'all sign up. This is the investment you all want to make. But the brother Panic, there's a lot of things you said interesting yesterday when we did the pre-recorded video.
Right.
And the people who sign up, what it is we're gonna go live every night for 7 days, but there's instructional videos from Brother Panic, Dr. Phil Valentine, Billy Carson, and a couple of others. We're gonna get some sisters in there, but right now we got the 3 kings in there. But we're gonna probably get 3 queens and 4 to make it a 7 videos. But one thing you said, Panic, that stuck in my mind was that you was like, since the Beetlegeese energy hit, it's much easier to do the inner work.
Oh, yes.
The inner work that people was having problems with before, it's easier now because It's
Right.
a different light hitting this planet.
Right. So that's the first thing. The first thing we have to be clear on the definition we know, but let's highlight that knowledge and light are the same thing.
Yes, sir.
So when people's biggest uniform problem with meditation was the knowledge on how to do it, really, even though they had the intellectual instruction, sit down, sit like this, do it like this, don't do that, breathe like this, close your eyes, look over here, and wait for that. Even though they had the intellectual thing, it seems like that inner knowing was the lacking. Because after they did the motions, none of them said, I know I was on point. I've never heard that. I've never heard somebody say, I read the book on meditation, and as soon as I did it, bam, I was all over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Never heard those words. Always hear, am I doing it right? Is it this and that? So in other words, even if they have step-by-step instructions, it always seems like something was missing. So light and knowledge are the same thing. So this illusionary thing that we're watching out here is just a map of inner things opening up and things that we have access to that are being shown to us. That's just the movie screen that we see above our heads. And then on that screen, there's a star in Orion's belt. And for those who don't know, Egypt, Kemet, their central system of, I don't want to say worship because it has such a dirty connotation on the word. Their central system of science revolved around the Sirius star system.
Yes, sir.
The 3 pyramids on the Giza Strip are lined up with 3 of the stars in the Orion constellation called Orion's Belt. So their chief deity, which the major mythology is surrounded around, is Osiris, which is the same name as that center Sirius sun, or that center sun in the sky. All the other suns revolve around this sun. So the Kamites said, this is the origin of the universe. This is where we're from. So in this very important constellation that the ancients put a lot of intention on in the area, this constellation in the Sirius star system, the Greeks called Orion, or the Orion star system, or the Orion constellation. And it's Orion the hunter. So in the hunter's shoulder, there's a star called Betelgeuse. It looks like Betelgeuse, but it is pronounced Betelgeuse, I'm told. Well, YouTube tells us, as YouTube tells us, that it is still pronounced Betelgeuse. And as we should know, they did a movie about the symbolism of this star in Orion's shoulder, in Orion the hunter's shoulder, called Betelgeuse. The name of the movie was called Betelgeuse. And so, you know, it's no accident. Twice in the movie, they referred to the character Betelgeuse with the spelling of the star Betelgeuse, which looks like Betelgeuse. And so they made it clear that they're referencing that star. So when we went back to watch the movie, there's a lot of symbolism in it. First of all, the house is representing planet Earth, and it's representing the upstairs represented the astral world where these people were now stuck, and downstairs represented the world of the living, the human, where the humans are. Fourth dimension, if you will, if we had to put numbers on it, represented where those worms were, and these spirits could not get out. So in order to get their house back, get back in control, they were going to call Betelgeuse. And Juno, which was the creator role aspect, and they showed a conveyor belt of people coming in, coming out, dying, being born. They showed that conveyor belt in there. And she pretty much said, do not call Beetlejuice. He will exorcise your dead. Everyone. That's ancestors. Woo. What they're talking about, what she was saying is that particular light is something that can, now, actually, before we even go there, there's a book called Astro Travel by Yvonne and Gavin Frost. It's probably the most standard astral travel book in the world because it's called Astro Travel. And it's not really a great book. Since it's written by two authors in the beginning, whoever wrote in the beginning, but the second half really picks up because they give you a lot of, when you learn the astral travel, expect these kind of things. And one of the things they talk about is that learning doesn't stop after you leave the body. There are plenty of entities, and I found this to be absolutely true later on, that still get an education beyond the body. There's some who've left the body and their spirits have made contact with me just to keep on with the study. So in other words, the ancestors would be waiting for knowledge as well too. What is knowledge? Light. So this particular Beetlejuice star in Orion's shoulder has been losing light. It was considered by whatever white standard, the 11th brightest star. It is now the 24th. It has been losing light. Now, let's say this is point A and this is point B. There's a certain amount of distance between where we are at point B and where this star is at point A. And light travels at a certain speed. So if this may have happened 10, 20, 30 years ago, the light still takes a time to get from point A to point B. So what we're seeing now may be the tail end of something that already happened, just we're receiving the light now. So we're receiving the light on something that's already happened in this part of the universe. That's why we're able to visualize it with their Hubble bullshit. But it's really only looking at something that's happening in the mind. And this happens because of our circumstance and our consciousness and blah, 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 blah. When this light comes, this is an event. No matter how we slice it, this is a phenomenon that happened and always happens in consciousness. So around about 2006 or 7, I started to question myself, like, what the fuck are we doing this for? The fuck are we standing in front of people? Yo, this and that. And if you knock 3 times on the ceiling and turn around, fucking Miss Mary Magdalene will appear. Why are we doing all of this shit? And then the spirit answered, and I seen Al Gore's first installment of, what was his documentary about greenhouse effect, whatever that was. He did a whole greenhouse effect documentary. And what he did in one sitting was document all the destruction of the greenhouse effect. Then I was absolutely clear on what we were doing it for. I was absolutely clear on what was happening when our voices was heard, where we think we just talking to empty heads that's going to be Christian anyway. When we're doing all of this talking for all these years, then Sonetta could put up a picture of Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, and Jesus, and your whole shit, you will have to sit, after you watch that tape, you have to sit in the fucking house for a week and a half just to recuperate after you thinking you doing what you doing, and here we are. You see the true psyche. So you kind of know it's not going to be with, it's got to be something spiritual that must happen. You get what I'm saying? Our best position is to be aware and awake and ready for that spiritual transformation. It's not going to happen with our sweat and stick, because by the time you figure who that guy is, there's always somebody ready to kill him. There's always somebody ready to say he's a fraud. Always somebody to say, where the fuck's the money at? You know what I'm saying? So it'll never work through these means. It's a spiritual thing, and this is why the occult is the absolute positive way we need to go. The occult is not a religion. The occult is a particular understanding you must come through personally. You can't do the occult like I do it. So I can't tell you how to do it, and I can't judge if you're doing it right. Occult means hidden culture. So what it means is you're working on your spirit. So your spirit and my spirit may have two different things going on. So I don't even look for, it's nice if we do come across with the same agenda, but I don't look for it, and it's not necessary, because the occult understanding of this reality is not a religion. It's a way to look with clear glasses at what motivates that which is apparently in front of you. So if you're looking from what is the gasoline behind whatever action, and if you start thinking you can control where the gas goes, then you can start to control where the action. We're just really talking about cause and effect here. The cause, when you understand the occult, is a hidden cause. The effect is the apparent shit around you. You get what I'm saying? So you want to focus, the occult is practicing first and then mastering the art of the cause, that hidden cause. So when you do ritual, when you do certain things that look imaginary, you're interfacing with invisible. And the invisible is imaginary to the world of the real. So you're dealing in the real, in the realm of imagination and in the realm of visualization, just like a child. A child does that naturally because a child just came from that world, and that was the order of operation there. So if you're trying to move and operate in this world, you know there's a true hidden world that runs it. And that hidden world is accessed through specific means. Two ways. It can be accessed through traditional means, where you see niggas getting initiated and adorning themselves with all sorts of shit. They don't even know what the fuck it is until somebody told them that's what the fuck it is. Or there's the occultist that understands beyond the tradition, the religion, beyond the what's the word I'm looking for? Superstition. Beyond all of that, there's a way to access this energy directly. This energy is nothing more than a detailed definition of your mind. And if you truly know thyself, you don't need the pageantry to start working and exercising your mind. This shit is about calisthenics. So your mind goes as far as the push-ups you did. The push-ups you do are through meditation, through affirmation. You get what I'm saying? Through straight understanding of self and your undying need to know. An undying need to know. Not how much you want to lecture, not how much you think you'll know to catch up to whatever. How much you want to know for yourself. For no other reason but to know. Not to make your business pop. Not to make, the pussy game, the pussy pimp ham stronger. Or whatever fucking your mixtape, whatever niggas got going on. You gotta put those worldly things down and understand, first and foremost, you have to be honest with yourself and make a commitment to yourself for absolute honesty, no matter where it takes you. And this will conflict with your ego. This will conflict with it. But it's designed to, it's supposed to, because the ego isn't real. And if you are dedicated to find that which is real, the first thing you must check is the shit coming out your own head about yourself. Because that's the first thing you know is fake. And you know it's fake. Come on. If you got 10 pieces of pussy, you telling the world you got 15. That's what humanity does. You have to be honest with yourself on that level. And then when you start turning it in, you start seeing that you're responsible for a lot. You start taking responsibility for the cause again. And then you realize that the cause of everything in this existence that you perceive is your responsibility. And then you start to really understand the weight of what God really means. And then it becomes easier for you just to put twisties in your fucking hair and say fucking hotel. And then it becomes easier for you to stand on 125th Street and just argue with niggas about their shit because you don't have to deal with your shit. But see, you can't have it both ways with this. That's why the power of the occult is the power of reality. We are in a time now where reality is in this ultimate revelation. This is why Trump is doing the job that he's doing. American presidents from day one that I can imagine, but as soon as it mattered enough, would lie to maintain the status quo. In fact, we know that everything we said as Black men and women, even before consciousness, we knew they were telling us a fucking lie. Even Kanye West is sitting there talking about George Bush ain't do nothing he don't like Black people. We know that. That's standard. But the only thing they could stand on is that they had a good fucking hustle going. They at least could say, well, we trying to help Black people. I know I know y'all getting fucked up, but we're gonna do better. We trying to do that, and we're adding more to do that, and we're more aware of that. They could say that. But with Trump, they no longer can even go around the world with that particular lie anymore. In other words, as I pointed, reality is at an extreme height in this moment as we shift to what we call the Sati Yuga. We are now in a golden age, blown. That was